I'm Charlotte and I'm the project coordinator for IMS Heat Pumps. So I see projects through right from the beginning to the end, and I deal with the customer all the way through.
My name's Duncan Walpole. I'm the Managing Director of Enviromental Energy, and we do all of the renewable technologies. So we do everything from solar thermal, PV, wind turbines, biomass, to air source heat pumps, ground source heat pumps.
So when a job comes over to me, it's been sold by our sales team, so initial quotes and everything have been sent. But when it comes to me, I send over a full welcome pack, which includes like the remitter design, so the underfloor heating or the radiator specifications, the quote, their like registrations, so for the insurances, all that kind of stuff. And then also just I like to have a chat with them basically and just sort of see where they're at, what project they're doing, and when they think they'll be ready, and just sort of having a really open line of communication from the beginning. So they get my email, my phone number directly, so if there's any issues or any questions that they've got, they know that they can ring me, and it's the same person at the end of the phone every time.
So once they've confirmed it, we've got the kit, or we know we're going to get the kit, then I can confirm an install date. So they can get an install date in the diary. When we go round, I will go around with my heating engineers and my electricians on the first day, get everything set up with the client there, make sure that we're going to put everything in the right place, because I'll have done the survey with them, but I need to pass that on to my guys. When I do the survey, I do quite a detailed document that passes it on to the lads, but still, it's much better if we're all there going, well, where do you want your control? Is there nice or is there nice? If the heat pump's going there, is that right? Or how are we going to landscape it or whatever? So we'll all turn up on site at that time. Probably only takes half an hour or an hour for us all to wander around and go. And then the client will also engage with the plumber and the electrician. So they're on site and they can talk among each other, make sure everything goes in the right. You always find, to greater or less extent, things that can be problematic. You might be working with builders or whatever to do the underfloor or whatever. So it's getting that, having that first on-site meeting involving preferably all the builders and plumbers that are doing the work for, which may be us, or on a bigger project maybe other people doing all those other things. But that first meeting is really important.
And then we sort of advise people to live with the heat pump system for about a week or two, and then we'd go back and do a full handover of the system. I find that if we do a handover straight away, when they've not had like a settling in period, we tend to have to go back a few more times, which is absolutely fine, but after 1 or 2 weeks they have a list of questions normally, and then that kind of gives us a bit of more information of maybe what they're not understanding or what we need to explain in a different way. It's always, I find, like empathising with people and sympathising with people. People are renovating a house, there's so many different things that they're juggling all at once, and you have to accept that you are only one of them. Even though that customer is like a whole week's work for you, you are a tiny part in their installation, and you kind of need to accept that and kind of take a step back and just sympathise and go, I totally get where you're coming from, these things hardly ever go to plan, but just be as helpful as possible really. Like, when can I next get them in? Can I juggle other people round to accommodate? And I think as long as you're always looking like you're doing the best for someone, they'll always sort of be happy with that service.
Advice to others about how they can best help people through the heat pump journey or the retrofit journey. Know what you're doing and don't try and just sell a single product, because that's not going to really help anybody. Well, it's only going to help the people who have that product. Listen to the client and find out what they want and tell them if it's not right. A good example of me shooting myself in the foot probably, but I think everybody should do this. At the moment, a heat pump, although it's 400% efficient and you're going to save 400% of carbon, you're not, when you're on grid gas, going to get much cheaper bills at the moment. I'm sure that will change as time goes by, and everything points to the fact that there will be a carbon tax. And I'll tell people that in the future, if you're on grid gas, you might well save money, But at the moment, you're not going to save a hell of a lot of money, but you will save the planet.
I would say like welcome and handover packs, giving people as much information as possible. Even if you can do like small fault finding videos or like help so the customer can help themselves, that'll also increase their learning. But also finding a diary system that works for you so you can get yourself prepared with materials, how long you're going to need on a job. Because I think as long as you can set realistic expectations for your customer, that will always alleviate any disappointment that then may come about after.